Good morning, Crossroad Baptist Church family. Sorry for that little blip a moment ago. You may have seen or been on live there. I think we got our ducks in a row now. My ducks are all over the place a lot of times. Anyway, today is Thursday, September the 3rd, and this is your Crossroad Connection. I want to say that we're so excited about returning to indoor worship this coming Sunday morning at 10 o'clock in the CLC, and we will be following some COVID-19 guidelines. These will be in addition to the things that we were already doing. We have added a few things to that, and I just want to run through those right quick just so you'll know. COVID-19 guidelines. When on our campus for services, activities, meetings, or to visit the office, we're asking you to please remember the following. Do not come to campus if you have recently been sick or in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. That's important. We ask that you wear your mask until you reach your location and can sit down in a socially distanced spot. That means we're asking you when you get out of your vehicle to have your mask on and go ahead and wear that mask all the way until you get to your socially distanced seat. We're asking you to use the hand sanitizers that you'll find at each of our entrances, and when you're coming in the building, as you're exiting the building, just use that sanitizer and make sure your hands are good and clean. We're asking you to do something that's very hard for us Christians, for us who enjoy and love one another, enjoy the fellowship, but we're asking you not to shake hands, don't hug, don't do fist bumps, don't do elbow bumps, don't do any of that right now. We just want to be extra cautious about things. We're asking you to only sit with members of your immediate family that you are around all the time, that you live with, and we're asking you to remain socially distanced from anyone that's not in that category. So even if you want to stand around and talk after the service, we ask that you exit the building promptly, but maybe stand out in the parking lot and get in a circle. Make sure everybody's about 6 feet apart and y'all have a conversation and then enjoy one another's company. So those are just some things that we want to make sure that we're following so that we can remain safe and healthy and continue worshiping indoors. So you'll have that same list in your newsletter that if you've not already received it, you will be receiving it today or perhaps tomorrow. I also want to remind you that in 3 Sundays from now, on September the 20th, I've got some good friends of mine, Daryl and Dawn Ritchie, that are going to be here to minister to us. Now, we've actually had this on the books for quite some time, pre-COVID, in fact. Excuse me. So anyway, they're going to come, they're going to share with us a song in the morning service on September the 20th, and then they'll be back that evening at 6:30 for a full concert of worship. They're going to share a wide variety of songs in lots of different styles, but I promise you, you will enjoy it. And I have known Daryl since 1998. That was the first time I ever had him come and share his ministry in the church that I was serving. And I've had him 3 or 4 times since then and kept in touch with him throughout the years. So you'll also find information about that in your newsletter that is coming soon. Now, we're going to switch gears this morning, and we've got Pastor Tommy and Gene Simpson who are here to give us a transition team update. Now, give me just a moment as I switch the camera around. Get these guys here. All right.
Thanks, Mitch, for that good information for us. Looking forward to seeing as many as we can on this coming Sunday at 10 o'clock. Boy, it'll be a blessing, and we'll pray together for our services. By the way, I've been told, I don't know all the details, there's a prayer group at 9:30 doing a prayer walk, and if you want more information about that, you can call the church office on this Sunday morning. Good to have Gene Simpson with us here today. He's one of our transition team members, and some time back he was assigned one of our subgroups to help give some information back to the transition team so we can kind of get a starting place about in our heritage about where we are, what's going on, who are we, and matter of fact, what do we have? And Gene's responsibility was to investigate some of the resources that God's blessed the church with for these many years, and we're going to talk about that for a few minutes this morning. His part was the resource subgroup for our transition team. Gene, first of all, why don't you tell us who helped you get this information together?
Well, we had a lot of help from a lot of people, but my team members consisted of Greg Arnold, Summer
Good.
and Brett Forshini,
Good.
and Jake and Brittany Bishop, along with my wife, who contributed a lot of ideas and opinions too.
Okay, and now tell us specifically. I know you guys kind of did an inventory of some things, your team, and from all the way down the end of our property, where the field is, the parsonage, all the way up the hill here. And you brought this information in a wonderful report back to the transition team, and we're going to share this with the church in a few weeks from now with our other subgroup reports as well. But why don't you just give us a summary about some of the information that y'all found out?
Okay, you just stop me when you want to talk about something, but first thing we looked at was the real estate, just the physical property, the amount of land, the buildings we had here. And from what we gathered, we sit on about 37 acres of land here.
Wow.
And that consists of our sanctuary, our parsonage, and our Christian Life Center here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have 2 paid parking lots, or several paid parking lots, a playground, and other material. You want me to go in detail on the parsonage and the Sunday school classroom?
You're fine. We've got time.
Okay. Well, the sanctuary has approximately 4,000 square feet. We can easily hold over 350 people in that. And attached to the sanctuary are our Sunday school classrooms and nurseries, and there are 17 classrooms attached to this building. We have 7 restrooms, a library, a choir room, and some additional storage in that space as well. In our Christian Life Center over here, we have a gymnasium. It's about 9,600 square feet downstairs, and the upstairs is about 4,000 square feet. We have a full-service kitchen, a dining area. Upstairs, we have 5 different office spaces, maybe a couple more than that, and some extra storage, a couple of restrooms. A conference room, which is what we're sitting in here today. All that said, we're in the process of trying to get an appraisal on all this, just to get an idea of what the value of all this is.
The good thing, it's all paid for, isn't it?
That was on my notes for later.
Okay.
That is correct.
Go ahead.
It is all paid for, and you got to thank God for
Amen.
that. It's a blessing. The people have stepped up and made this a very nice place, and a place we don't have to worry about being in debt and making payments. You want to talk about personal property?
Yeah, personal property, some of our furnishings. That's good information to have. Y'all very detailed, and it's good to have this on record and know what we have.
Okay, well, we try to look at everything in the building, and I won't bore you with all the details, but we do have 2 15-passenger vans here, the newest one being the 2017 Ford. We also have an older one also, which is great for us. Pre-COVID, we used it a lot to get out and go to various places, used by the youth and the older adults, everybody that wants to use it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 enclosed single-axle trailers.
Good.
One of those is full of tools that we can use if we participate with disaster relief or the Baptist men.
Awesome.
We have 14 televisions or more in this building. We actually got to the point we counted every chair in this building. As far as we can tell.
Back up with those televisions.
Okay.
It's not for watching Andy Griffith, is it? Really, recently I was told the main part of the sanctuary area up there, we recently had some wire cable to give us wireless access up there, and of course down here. But those are tools to be used when we need online access, especially. And YouTubing and whatever. Awesome to have television for our Sunday school teachers and workers, and even for that reason.
That's a good point. We in my Sunday school class, the college and career class, we use YouTube quite a lot. There's a lot of good Christian videos out there and a lot of good Sunday school lessons you can use and incorporate with your lessons.
And I'm using some of the larger screens for deacons meetings and other meetings, transition meetings for Zooming. And we did in our Sunday school meeting last week, and it's just awesome to have that access for that technology.
Yeah, very fortunate we have that available. I was going to say we also have 557 folding chairs, just in case anybody wanted to know how many are on hand. And I did not count the broken ones, so we may have close to 600 if we get rid of the broken ones.
And I told y'all in the transition meeting it was 556, because I took one of them down to the Parsons.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll make that correction on this sheet
Right.
later. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, we could talk about the playground equipment. We could talk about our outside storage building.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things there, and probably some things we missed. So if you see this report and you think we missed something, you can let us know. We'll add it to it. But hopefully we didn't miss much.
I don't think so.
I'm going to jump to our outside resources, things that we don't own but we have access to, and I'm going to finish up maybe with a little finance statement here. But the Randolph Baptist Association is a great place to get resources. I mean, they have a library with Bible studies and books and videos, all sorts of training resources. One of the things I love about them, they have some trailers, some single axle trailers, and a tandem disaster relief mission trailer, which is full of tools, and it's for any of us in this area to use. The thing I didn't know about, they do have a single axle ministry trailer. It's got a generator in it. It's got a popcorn machine, a cotton candy machine, a hot dog cooker, a snow cone machine, and all the supplies come with it. They don't want us to stock it. They said we will keep it stocked. And that's just a great resource to have. And fortunately, or unfortunately, I didn't realize we had it. So it's a good thing we got this team together.
What y'all brought to our attention was that everybody's got resources that they actually own or they've developed or built or paid for or bought. But every church also, especially if you're in the Randolph Baptist Association, has a lot of good outside resources available to you that because we're not knowledgeable about that, we don't make access to them. But
That's correct.
Wonderful. That's good to know.
No, it is good to know. It's unfortunate that me personally didn't realize it, but I'm sure as we get into this, we'll realize it more and more. And there's other ministries like the Baptist Aging Ministry, the North Carolina Baptist Men, the disaster relief part of that. We're familiar with it, but it is there, and hopefully, if we're needed, we can help these ministries.
Don't mention that.
Okay. Other resources, and we talked about this a little bit. My wife works at the YMCA, and we have that as a resource available to us. Obviously, if it fits within their time frame. So the NC Zoo, which is right down the road, got some great walking trails, and it's a resource too for us. We're fortunate we live in an area. We're going to have a sportsplex built right down the road from here.
Yes,
And I'm sure we're going to figure out a way to incorporate that
Absolutely.
too into things that we can use here. And a retirement center down the road, which a lot of us are involved with. Mitch has come down and volunteered his time many times with us, but they've got a couple of buses down there that they freely let us have when we need them. Obviously, if it fits within their schedule.
And for those that are not members of our congregation, maybe listen to our Facebook today. Another day we're going to introduce that ministry, but that was a ministry church founded many years ago that God has blessed in a wonderful way. And so we'll talk more about that retirement center another day. That's good.
Yeah. I'll sort of finish up, and you may have some more things you want to talk about, but I think one of the great things about the resources we look at, resources of this church, one of the biggest ones, if not the main one, is our people.
That's right. That's right. I want to hear about that.
Our people over the years have always stepped up here. We're very fortunate in this place where we are debt free. And that's not something to brag on. That's something to say God has blessed us, and the people have returned those blessings to this church. And so I think that's a great thing. Now, not just from the financial standpoint, but our membership currently is over 400 members. And out of that membership, there are 293 positions in this church that have to be filled. There's various committees and organizations, Sunday school, Awanas, all those positions need to be
Ministry,
filled.
mostly ministry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So out of those 293 positions, we have 136 different people that are filling those positions, and that's a lot of people. And it's great that we've got this many people involved and people want to serve.
Right.
I think we've got a lot to be thankful for, and God has blessed us. And I don't know, our people have a lot to be commended for.
Yeah, and those numbers also reflect a good percentage above what I would say the average. We talk working people in the church involved in ministry and on various levels. That's a good number, and that's good information for us to have as well.
Good. I don't know what else you want to talk about, but we can think of something. But,
let me say I appreciate you and the people that worked with your team to give us this information. What do we do now that we know? Well, that kind of allows us to look at this, and we're going to move this into our next focus point here in October. And with these resources, we begin to ask the question as to why do we have these things, and what are we supposed to do with these things? And then there'll be ideas considered about improving and maybe adding or reallocating some of these resources different ways. It's all going to tie to the real mission of the church, the mission of the gospel and discipleship. But this is a valuable project that's been done by your team, and I appreciate that. And now let me remind you, next Tuesday and next Thursday, I'll have a couple other subgroups coming to meet with us. And Ken Winters is coming in to talk about our written history and our plans for doing a video of our history as well, made available on our website to anyone who'd like to have it. And then Peggy Massey's coming in next Thursday and sharing what's going on in our surrounding that we're connected to. And they did an awesome job giving us that report and some really good, valuable information. That just some considerations to just know where we are, who we are, what's going on at Crossroad Baptist Church in these present times that allows us to go forward in our mission, our call here. Let's pray together. Father, thank you for the blessings of Crossroad, all the resources you provided, especially, as Gene mentioned, our precious people, the members of this church, committed members to serve you. And I pray, Father, that during this transition period, a revival spirit can come to our church, a renewing of our focus and our vision to the gospel. Bless our people today, wherever they are, for whatever they're doing today. In Jesus' name, amen.